There doesn't seem to be any other way of creating the next green revolution without GMOs, said American scientist Wilson. You have always heard about the harms and disadvantages of GMOs. What if I told you about the advantages of GMOs? Hello everyone, I am Anil Farah. Today I will talk to you about GMOs and their advantages if they are used only for good purposes. This point is essential because there are numerous bad intended usages of GMOs. However, I am going to mention only beneficial usages in science. Let's see my outline. I will tell you about the advantages of GMOs for humanity, the environment, and plants. First, let's talk a little bit about what GMOs are. Genetically modified organisms are organisms whose genetic material, DNA or RNA, has been modified using specific genetic engineering techniques. These organisms range from microorganisms to animals. Now let's talk about the advantage of GMOs for humanity. Hunger is still a massive problem in today's world. According to a 2018 study in the Journal of Innovation and Knowledge conducted by Robert Richard John, the number of people struggling with hunger in the world is more than 800 million. He also concludes that agronomists have produced GMOs by using modern plant breeding methods where crop yield and nutritional quality can be significantly improved. On the other hand, Kader et al. In their 2016 study in the Journal of Advanced Science Letters argue that the main purpose of genetic modification organism food is to assist in improving agricultural yields and food production, since it will increase the yield of crops, livestock, and others. Therefore, GMO can be very critical in terms of yield, as it increases the nutritional value of foods and lowers the cost. Now let's continue with the advantage of GMOs for a second area, the environment. Insecticides used in agriculture have many harms to both nature and humans. According to a 2016 study in the Journal of GM Crops and Food conducted by Bruicus and Barefoot, because of the use of genetically modified crops since their first widespread commercial use in the mid-1990s, the adoption of genetically modified insect and herbicide-tolerant technology has reduced pesticide spraying by minus 8.2% and decreased the environmental impact associated with herbicide and insecticide use on these crops by 18.5%. They also added that the technology has also facilitated important cuts in fuel use and tillage changes, resulting in significant reduction in the release of greenhouse gas emissions from the GM cropping area. In 2014, this was equivalent to removing nearly 10 million cars from the roads. As a result, new plants that don't need pesticides can be obtained and products that are both harmless to nature and free of pesticides residues can be produced. Now, finally, let's examine the effect of GMOs on plants. GMO shortens the ripening period of fruits and vegetables and contributes to extending their shelf life. On the other hand, it allows obtaining more resistant plants to weather conditions and drought. In addition to making the plant more durable and profitable, this may also decrease the water used in irrigation systems. On this subject, Robert John stated the following in his study: many GMO varieties have been specifically developed to be pest resistant, drought tolerant, and contain beneficial nutrients. This results in reduced pesticides used in water and on land. Also, GMO varieties are safer than conventionally grown varieties because they are made with such precision. This is the end of the presentation. To sum up, today I talked to you about GMOs. First, I talked about GMOs increasing crop yield. Afterward, the second advantage of reducing the use of pesticides and their contribution to nature. Finally, I focused on growing more resistant plants. This is my reference list. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me. If we humans minimize the abuse of GMOs and focus only on the benefits, GMOs can put an end to hunger, even thirst, and a whole lot more.